Khabarovsk is a city since 1880 in Russia at the administrative center of Khabarovsk territory, one of the largest political, educational and cultural centers of the Russian Far East. Today, Khabarovsk is a large modern metropolis with many high-rise buildings, shopping centers and parks. The city is young by historical standards, but it has a special historical phase in the form of well-preserved buildings from the middle 19th, early 20th century. The town began its development with the military post of Khabarovsk in 1858. Peculiarity of natural conditions, relief, has left its mark on the formation of the city's architecture. Khabarovsk used to be called Two Hills, Three Mountains. Three mountains are today's Lenin Street, Muravyovo-Amursky Street, and Siroshev Street, and the two hills are the boulevards between them, Amursky and Ussuriysky, the historical parts of Khabarovsk. But Khabarovsk didn't always look like that. It, like any city, started with wooden buildings. The architecture and decor of wooden houses has a variety of influences of the 19th century, brought here by settlers from central Russia and Transbaikalia. Wood is an unstable material. Houses burned, dilapidated, new ones appeared. The wooden houses were replaced by stone architecture. Most of the stone buildings that have survived in the central parts of the city are linked to the names and fates of those who built, owned, lived, or walked in them. As an example, let us consider house number 7 on Istomin Street, which is a monument of architecture. It was built around 1902 by Namakonov. The wooden building on a brick foundation was originally conceived as a two-family home. On November 14, 1996, there was a fire that damaged the eastern parts of the house and the roof. However, in 2020-2021, the building was restored and its historical architectural image was recreated. On the other hand, our city is much richer in stone buildings, maybe because the material itself, brick, is much more durable than wood, or maybe because stone buildings, located in the central parts of the city, are monuments of federal importance, and it's much more difficult to demolish them without passing a lot of approvals. Stone mansions, for the most part, have survived and make up the development of the central parts of Khabarovsk. Many of them are under state protection as architectural monuments of local or federal significance. Of course, not all buildings have survived in their original forms. Many of them underwent alterations in the form of alterations or remodeling. It's interesting that almost all stone houses built in pre-revolutionary Khabarovsk are connected with someone's name. There were many successful merchants in the city at that time: Cherdimov, the Plusnin brothers, the Pinkov brothers, Bogdanov, Tifantsy, and others, who contributed greatly to the development of the city, whose buildings we can see even nowadays. At the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, the foreign policy of lodging house owners was very diverse. Among all the foreign merchants, there was a prominent representative of our closest neighbors. According to one of the most widespread versions, the Fanta from China arrived to Khabarovsk in 1873, together with some of his compatriots. It was a group of workers recruited by the Russian authorities in Shandong to build ports and cities in the Far East. Having slightly mastered the city, he at first becomes a translator of Chinese at the engineering section of Pryamorsky military district in Khabarovsk, then opens his own business, a trading shop and a fur crafting at it. Soon Tifantsy owned several tens of stone houses, bathhouses, a mill, a distillery, a theater, a circus, taverns, opium smoke houses and furious enterprises. Later, he became the owner of several plots of land in Khabarovsk, on one of which he decided to build a lucrative house. Tifantsy bought this piece of land in Portovo Lane, now 69 Turgenev Street, in 1887. He built a two-story brick house there until 1898. The premises were rented out. By the way, this small two-story building was one of the first stone buildings in the town, built in eclecticism style with classicist and Gothic motifs in the decoration of the facade brickwork. Tifantsy left a huge mark in the history of Khabarovsk's development, from supplying people with bread to indirectly building tracks for the tram. By the time they were built, Tifantsy had died, but his company, called Tifantsy & Co., approached the town council with a proposal to build a horse-drawn railway. This proposal was at first rejected, but finally, after going through all the hassles, the tracks were completed by 1979, and road number 6 started running on them on March the 6th.